Hey, everybody. Fascinating chat today as we dive into the world of campus-wide networks, private networks, and industry digitization with a true industry leader at Nokia. David, how are you?
I am fabulous. Evan, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for being here. Really keen to explore this new and exciting space with you. Maybe start with some introductions, not just to you, but your team within Nokia and what's your mission these days.
Absolutely. I joined I've been with Nokia several years, but I joined the private wireless team a little over a year and a half ago. And it's been just such a true journey to not just drive a team, but drive a global team. So we have representation really from every major market globally. And the journey's really been about bringing our customers on this digitalization journey and how they need to rethink and redo how they've been doing business in the past. That could be anything from how a mine automates itself to how a port automates itself or to a logistics hub. Really, it's been just such an honor to be part of that journey with both ourselves, our customers, and to play a small part in that has really been a thrill of a lifetime. So yeah, it's been about a year and a half since I've been in this. Was working, helping a large North American CSP kind of establish their foothold with our products in that. We've had great success with them on getting them and their journey started, and that led me into this role here. So it's been a great time getting both Nokia and our customers along on this journey. So thanks for having me today.
Exciting
Yeah.
initiative. And let's
Mhm.
zoom in on the industries you're focused on.
Sure.
You've done a lot of research on those industries, and you think they are ripe for change, transformation, digitization, particularly when it comes to private wireless. Manufacturing, transportation, and energy are the focus. But tell me, what makes those sectors stand out, and why is the time now?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, absolutely good question. Yeah, we look at, as you mentioned, manufacturing, transport, logistics, of course, mining, oil and gas, everything that really benefits from automation. Automation that can be in some ways managed by some versions of Wi-Fi technology, which is obviously getting better as it goes through Wi-Fi 5 and 6 and 6E and into 7. But really moving from 4G and of course into 5G has really expanded how these businesses these verticals can not just do their current day-to-day business well, but can really thrive, right? And really it centers around, I think, really just a couple key things, which is always about better efficiency, worker safety, which is so critical, and now the sustainability mode has a lot of our customers are really chatting with us a lot about sustainability as well. So it's really gaining efficiencies, making it more safe for workers, so it's more safe, but also a plant or a mine or a port can operate round the clock, and making these ports or mines or logistics hubs much more sustainable. I think those three in combination, Evan, are really what I see some of the bigger drivers that we're seeing today. So let me give you some examples. We did an ROI study, and about 95% of the enterprises that we looked at and discussed achieved their ROI targets in the first 12 months. This
Wow.
is critical when you look at how tight budgets can be, and the journey that you're taking these folks on, getting to an ROI piece. And we have a division that just looks at and helps customers analyze this and really gets them accustomed and makes it easier for them to make a buying decision. And then we like to revisit that, so we make sure the customers understand the buying decision they made was the right one and that they're moving in the right direction. And again, it's around worker safety. more than half the respondents found a huge uptick in worker safety increases. Sustainability, another big uptick and another big needle mover for us. When you can reduce emissions and reduce, those kind of carbon gases that are really slowing down in a lot of these industries, you can really make quite an impact.
Well, that's pretty impressive. And
Yeah,
what
it's good
makes
stuff.
private wireless, such a great opportunity, driving such fast returns? What it is about the technology or the capability that's proving so interesting for so many of these firms?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. Yeah, it's very in some ways it's very vertical dependent, meaning what's important for a mine to keep automated cars moving at a time, or having IoT devices on workers that need to be connected, that making sure they're safe all the time, as opposed to a port, which is looking at how do I quickly get the cranes attached to the ship and
Mm,
getting the cargo off. So I'd say that's when. So when I talk about things like sustainability, that's what I mean in terms of like safety, sustainability. When I talk about greater efficiencies, when you look at something like a port or a logistics hub or a manufacturing facility that wants to gain those efficiencies, if they can, whether they're manufacturing cars or tuna cans, they can get those up at 5%, 10%, 15%. We have a POC we're doing right now with an auto manufacturer in the U.S. And the numbers they're putting in front of us that they need to gain utilizing 5G would make you sit down and really shock you. So it's a lot about efficiency gains as well. Is a huge driver for that.
oh, that's
Yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah,
And I'm hearing lots of interesting use cases and applications at the edge of the network. And I imagine
yeah.
that's about as close to the edge as you can get with private wireless, things like video analytics or geofencing or
That's
physical
right. Right.
security and monitoring. What I imagine those are relevant, but what else is really driving those edge use cases?
Well, those are great examples, right? So, and again, just to baseline everybody, to re-educate everybody, edge use cases are critical because you need to move everything out from the core and get that latency down to next to nothing, right? So that's moving everything out from a central place out to the edge. So that's the first reason for doing it, is driving the latency issues down. And then I think that's really where we start to bring a bit of a differentiation from other folks that are pushing either private 4G or private 5G is our edge technologies and how we kind of accumulate that with an edge platform, which we call Mixi. And on top of Mixi, we then start to talk about things that are critical, right? So what do people think about when they think about private 5G or private 4G? Well, think about connectivity, right? I've got to connect this device onto this platform and make this work better than it would normally. I can't attach to the macro network of a wireless network. I can't depend on Wi-Fi because there's too many APs there, and I can't get the efficiency. So I'm now depending on my private 4G or 5G network for connectivity. We think that's fabulous, but really that's just where we start at Nokia. And what we really look at is the longer game, right? What we like to call beyond connectivity. And so our edge platform, what we call Mixi, starts to really differentiate itself. And we start to put amazing, what you could call use cases, somebody else might call applications, on top of this Mixi edge platform. Guess what one of them is? Connectivity. That's how serious we take this edge compute. That connectivity is just an application for us on top of this edge compute. What else is there? Well, let me see some examples. One is our boost technology, which takes a view of the Wi-Fi, takes a view of the private 4 or 5G network, and either can combine them and do and expand bandwidth, or can certainly look at and see where the stronger signal is and always drive it, right? So gaining efficiencies and making it more, bringing the beyond connectivity game more to the end than just simple connectivity. We've got other applications we look at as well. How we utilize AI to see how worker safety is going. Is somebody in a certain plant wearing the correct device in the right spot? If they're not, they might get a little announcement, hey, Evan Christel, please make sure your helmet is on in zone 3, right? So many different applications that we like to sit on top of that. Security also is another big application that, that it's really on the top of everybody's mind. So for us, Evan, I think the first thing that, that we're finding out of this digitalization report that we want to kind of get across is connectivity is super important. It's the baseline. But as you start to expand and drive beyond that connectivity story, that's where for us, that's where the differentiators really start. And that's where a customer can really we talked about ROIs a bit before, right? This is when the customer can start to really understand that, wow, I can get more than just connecting devices. I can start to really utilize my network by making it more secure, by utilizing things that already exist like Wi-Fi, things like that really tend to make a difference in an application like that. Does that make sense?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Nokia has been known for innovation and sustainability and green tech
Yeah,
for as long as
for
I can
sure.
remember.
Yes.
And you do talk a lot about reductions in emissions and
Mhm.
carbon footprints. How does that work? And you have any examples of things that are happening on the ground?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have ecosystem neutral applications that we talk about quite a bit, where maybe we look at how we monitor core applications, how we automate, how we remote monitor. I think that's a good example. Some on-premise industrial edge applications that we tend to look at, I think is another good place for us to look at. And then I think how we also introduce and bring about certain industrial devices, edge devices, that can help in certain instances, can talk to whether it's a router or a bit of an edge server or some type of dongles that can kind of innovate the different devices. Or I think a great one for us right now is utilizing drone technology. So Nokia has our little startup shop within Nokia has an amazing drone technology that when integrated with private 5G can go up and do some things like tower monitoring for a telco, right? Can go up and really analyze and look at everything on a tower. You can do the same thing, take that into a port and do safety runs on a port. Making sure there's things that are coming in are built correctly and are safe. So when you combine our drones with our devices and with the different applications, you start to now surround yourself with the applications that you need to differentiate. That's hard for me to say. Differentiate yourself in the marketplace. Whew, that was a mouthful.
That's phenomenal. As a drone operator, I can't wait to see that in
Yeah, these
action.
drones are cool. But real quick on these drones are real cool because everything was designed, manufactured, and put together in Finland. So it's all the ground up the ground up development of this drones technology it's phenomenal. We have to get you out to Finland sometime and take a look at some of these or at some of our demo sites. That's good
Well,
stuff.
I've been to Nokia in Finland over the decades. And
Cool.
of course, Nokia is much more than just the edge or the campus networking. You have a complete digital platform.
Mhm.
How do you see the one digital platform at Nokia kind of playing in here? You must have other opportunities as well as synergies with your colleagues across the business.
Of course, first and foremost, we've got really three amazing divisions that look at, the kind of the software outside division, which I'm part of, right? And then we've got this incredible RAN group that is, leading edge radio technology and really leading the way in 5G. And then you've got this network infrastructure group that's looking at the routers and servers. What I like to talk about and there are kind of three kind of distinct businesses, Evan, and within Nokia, they all complement each other and they all work together. But I shouldn't say our little shop. I'm having some fun here, but our group is one of the biggest groups in Nokia that intersects all of the technology that Nokia makes into a private network. Because if you think about what goes into a private network, when I try to explain to a layperson, hey, what do you do for a living? I sell private networks. Like how your local carrier, has a billions and billions of dollars a year, they're building a coast to coast network. We can do that in a mine or a port. And when you take that philosophy and you bring it down to that aspect, think about what goes into, building a macro service provider network. It's great router technology. It's great optical technology. It's great, amazing radios. It's great switching technology and security. All the things that Nokia is really known for, and then making it very green at the same time. All those things that Nokia are made for are such a microcosm of my division, and maybe Evan. That's why I love my job so much and what I do so much, is because we are Nokia. We truly are. Everything that goes in that makes Nokia great is really pieced together in a campus network, and makes my job quite fun.
It sounds like it. I love your enthusiasm, and
Yeah, for sure.
I
Thanks.
think your vision is really going beyond connectivity,
It is.
which we all love connectivity, 5G, 4G, whatever's
Yep.
next with 6G.
Yep.
But when you get into your space, I mean, it's almost science fiction. AR and VR and digital twins are being developed.
Yes.
What are some of the cool, futuristic sci-fi like possibilities that you're seeing over the next couple of years?
I would keep my eye on. I would go back to. I would get out of sci-fi and I would come back to the things that make things work. Right. Which is, you're just starting to see the influence of AI. And then you tie in what I think are the two most important use cases, which in my mind, or three, I would say, would be security, worker safety, and sustainability. You got to have a secure network. The people that work in your plant or at your port or in your mine or in your logistics hub need to know that they're safe and that you can run a business 24/7 need be. And I think when you start to wrap around that, it's that evolution. And then if I can go back and talk about, again, go back to the edge devices that we were talking about before, and everything's put onto this Mixi platform, right? So this Mixi platform, it gives you not just connectivity, but start to layer these use cases on top of this application server. And that's the evolution. It's kind of like a little bit. I know there was a CEO of, I think, of many CSPs were talking when we were going from 4G to 5G. And it was kind of like, hey, let's bring 5G out and just see what all the applications are that can sit on top of that. I would say that's kind of the same evolution for private networking, which is just, we're just starting to tap in. But I keep an eye on AI and how it influences these really three pillars that I see in the technology piece moving forward.
And it sounds like, I mean, private 5G, private networking is available off the shelf today. I've seen many implementations, but you're taking orders. I mean, you're doing deployments. People can reach out and talk about not just trials and proof of concepts, but deployments at scale.
We had a phone call from a incredibly large corporation late last week. We worked through. They own several different. It's really neat because they are a large conglomerate and they own several different types of businesses, from milling to logistics to ports. I mean, this is truly a global company. And we started talking, and their big thing was they've got to have a security layer laid on top of what they're doing, and that's their big driver. And in the midst of like Monday, Tuesday, of discussing, to Thursday, Friday, of really starting to put together what those are and how the configurations look. As I speak to you today, election day, everybody vote, I hope. We've already have bill of materials sent out and are talking about specific sites to get this thing moving. So when you say we have this today and we have this technology today, we are in such a precious area of being really the market leader. We have some great folks doing a lot of great things in this space, even our competitors. But so our issue is really being the market leader and continue to be the market leader in the space. We'd like to think that we really help drive this business and this industry. And we owe a lot of that. I owe a lot of that to our business division itself, who's really on the forefront of looking at what the next great critical application, kind of to your point, is. And I can promise you that not only is it available today, and not only are we way over 700 customers today, but every major industry is looking at what we're doing and keeps an eye on us, and will continue to drive this technology and this industry for future growth.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations. That's super
Thank you.
exciting. And
Good stuff.
as a sort of industry insider, it's great to see, a company like Nokia succeeding in this
Thank you.
space, and onwards and upwards.
Thank you.
Congratulations, David and team.
Hey, I enjoyed the time today. We need to get you back to Finland. I think February is a great month to come to Finland. By the
Oh
way, it's
yeah,
very
lovely. Well, I'm
warm.
in Boston, so it's pretty equivalent, but
Bring
yes.
your shorts and a t-shirt, and if not in Finland for a great drone demo, we've got some great partners in the states that are utilizing it, and we'll stay
In
in
any
touch.
case, Mobile World Congress in Barcelona is the get together, so that will be
We'll see you there as
at
well.
least one opportunity. But thanks, David. Thanks for
I
joining and
appreciate the
sharing
time
the
today.
mission and the vision. Thanks everyone for listening and watching and sharing. Take
Thanks,
care.
everybody.